What does that mean? Let's talk about it. Because I believe it. I believe the baddies tell no lies. Or would they? And as I've said, I do not lie. I don't. What does that mean? Does that mean I owe you my truth? Because I don't lie, does that mean I owe you my truth? You can hear how absurd that sounds. No. I owe you nothing but the truth. But insofar, that I don't feel safe, feel like you have the emotional capacity, I know you should. And I'll tell you why I'm doing this. Because I saw the world. The things the police were doing, the prisons, the protests. I didn't care. Not really. If they wanted my help, they would have asked for it. But I just thought of my son going to one of these protests and being hit by a rubber bullet. Yeah. Really not good things would have happened. Really, really not good things. So, I figured I'd take care of it before it can become a problem. Because I'll tell you what I planned for. Yeah. People seem to want to know my plans. I can tell you what I planned for. I planned for a full-scale war with law enforcement. Full scale. Like if something were to happen to my son, plan for it immediately. Just all over the country. What's happening? Cars are just exploding. I don't know. And it would start from there, But, personally, I do not have a problem with law enforcement. I really, really don't. When I had the domestic issues, I had the police called on me. No problem with the police. Been around policemen my whole life, Good cops. Beat cops. That know their community. And understand. And have, potlucks with their neighbors. Those kinds of cops. Not the cops out in the gyms fucking their boys or fucking some chicks. And that's all they do with their lives, playing video games, right? Not those cops. When I went to school, when I was in high school, we had career fairs. And policemen were superheroes. Firefighters were superheroes. EMTs were superheroes. At those career fairs, they were superheroes. All the kids wanted to do that, to be that, to wear that badge. I did too. So you can imagine our disappointment. Because good cops know what the fuck is going on. They've been around. Right? Because, when you run an operation, you have to involve local law enforcement. You have to. Plus, you want to. They know the community, they know their neighbors. But before you can do that, you gotta vet them, right? Because you can't afford any compromises. And if we truly believe, as people, as human beings, that's their job, to protect us, to help us feel safe in our communities. We should hold them accountable for that job that they're supposed to be doing. And if they're not doing that job, well, they seem to be okay with privatizing a lot of other things. So, why not? Zodiac is fun. But it was never a discussion for me, because my sign can kick all your sign's asses. We just stomp on you and shit. Break that vase. What's up? People talk about my size all the time. I've always thought it's funny. Never had a problem. Hasn't been my experience. I don't know what y'all's obsession with size is. But I know all the parts on the body that have no muscle covering them. So, what's muscle gonna do? Or fat or any of it? Doesn't matter. I'll hurt you. I'll hurt you really bad. Immediately I'll hurt you. And you gotta play hurt. Right? That's kinda how it goes. My thing's always been, you're not faster than me. You can't take more hits than I can. You probably can't hit harder. Yeah, I'm probably okay. And then in a long, drawn-out fight, you're not more strategic. I'll learn how you move before you learn how I move. So, yeah, I'm not usually worried. And I've stood up quite a few times to quite a few people. And I'm used to receiving threats. Not in person. But you can feel it, Something's threatening you. Someone looks at you. Being in threatening environments, definitely used to that. I'm used to people actually threatening me. Like in a way that you'd never realize. Just how much they're threatening me. That's funny. I welcome threats. I do. And eventually when I get there, that's cool. I invite you to follow up on your threat. To make good on your threat, right? That's what we do. We threaten, and then we make good on it. Tick-tock. And I'll tell you something. If I watch sports, I would watch exclusively women's sports. I've said that before, I think. But it's never been a question for me. Who's more athletic? Right? It's always been silly to even what a funny hypothetical that came to me. It's like, you remember 100 babies versus one big duck? What if like women came for me? Which woman? Let's say they're professionals. How many would they, Good question. A lot. A whole lot. And it's funny because they're actually much better with blood than men are. Much better with it. They're not squeamish. They just get, over time, really, really angry. Really, really upset, really, really frustrated. So, then it's just, I just feel bad.